What's up guys? So today I got my box finally. So we're gonna set up my board. This took a really long time to get here, that's why this video is really late, but hey man, it's here, so we're gonna do it. With your new setup, I have some wheels. So these are the blood orange Liam Morgan Pro Series blood orange. Super hyped on those. They're 65 millimeter ADAs, so they're pretty wide and they're relatively soft, so super hyped for that. I got my caliber trucks. Yes sir, I had to order 2 of them, but they look the same, so that's good. They're the caliber 2s. I'll put the information in the description and also right here. I did see Caliber just release their new trucks, which I'm pretty bummed about. I definitely would have bought them if I knew that they were coming out, but these are going to be nice. And I also have some new bearings too. Blood orange bearings right there. ABEC 7. That just means that they're really fast. So, to do a board setup, you're gonna need your skate tool, a little screwdriver, and then for the bearings, I have this liquid bearings lubricant that I use to just kind of like lube it up. And to get into that, you're gonna need either like something really small. I'm gonna use this little thumbtack to just get into the bearings. So, all right, let's get into it. So first, I did already kind of set it up. These are my old trucks and wheels from my last video, if you didn't see. But I'm gonna take these off and then I'm gonna put the new ones on. If you're setting up a new board, you're not gonna have trucks on there. So if you are setting up a new board, you're not gonna have trucks, so you just put the new trucks on. But if you do, this is how you do it. First, what you're gonna wanna do, get your skate tool, get your screwdriver, hold this baby upright like this, and you're gonna put the small side, so this side of the skate tool, onto the nut. Just hold it in place, hold the screw in place, and then use your screwdriver on the other side, hold that in place, and you're gonna turn the skate tool to left, lefty loosey, and just loosen that baby up. I like to keep them on there so I can just hand twist them off, just so the whole truck doesn't start falling off by itself. All right, and then I'm gonna do that for all 4 screws. So it's really important to hold the screwdriver on the other side of the board because if you don't, it's just gonna keep twisting the screw and you're not gonna really loosen the nut on the other side. All right, so once they're all pretty loose, you can see I can kind of just like jiggle this around. Just hold it upright, twist the nuts off, and keep them in a secure place because you're going to need them. And then once you take the screws off, just pull the trucks off, set those aside, and then you're gonna push these screws in. You could use like a hammer. I'm gonna just use my skate tool to just kind of like hammer that boy out. Just like that. Done. Keep those, and we're gonna put the new trucks on, baby. Woo-hoo. These feel clean. You know, I should have bought new hardware. That's what I should have bought. I definitely didn't, but we're gonna use the old hardware from my other board. Hardware is just like the screws and the nuts and stuff. So keep that in mind when you're buying something new. Also, so when you set up your trucks, it's gonna be different from skate trucks. Usually when you set up skate trucks, you want the kingpin to face in the board, like towards each other like this. But when you set up the longboard trucks, you want them to face outwards like that. So they're facing to the nose and the tail. So keep that in mind, that's a pretty big thing. And then usually when setting up trucks, you have kind of options on where you want to place them. So you see these 2 holes right here. So you can place them higher or lower on the tail. So depending on if you want more tail or less tail, that's kind of up to your preference. So I could put it here, or I could slide it up a little bit so there's a little bit less tail. So it's up to your preference on where you want to put it in. All right, so what you're gonna do is get your screws, kind of put them through. If you're just setting up a new deck, you're gonna have to make holes. So in the grip tape, there won't be any holes there. So you just kind of put them where they are and just hammer them in. But my holes are already there, so you just push them in. And then you're gonna put your trucks on, pretty easy, just like that. And put those screws on, boy. And then when I put the screws on, I do the same thing. So I do them by hand first, just so that they kind of are held in place pretty tight. I'll tighten them with the skate tool and the screwdriver. So I hand tighten them, do the exact same things. You're gonna want a screwdriver on this side, skate tool on the other side, and just tighten it in towards the right, righty-tighty, I also don't tighten them all the way until I get all of them in, just to help with like fitment, so it doesn't like stretch the board or anything weird. So just tighten in a good amount, and then we'll tighten it all the way once they're all pretty good. Alright, so they're all pretty tight. I'm gonna tighten them all the way. And these, you definitely want to tighten them like basically as much as you can, because you don't want them wiggling around or getting loose while you're riding, because that's how you bust the truck, and that sucks. That boy is on there. Okay, next we're gonna put the wheels on. That's also pretty easy. So we're gonna put the board aside, set up the wheels first. So what we're gonna do, pop these babies open, just, yes sir. Yep, that's the best. Woo, they feel really nice. Okay, so you're gonna get your bearings, and this is optional. I like to just do this just to help lubricate them, because I don't know how long they've been sitting in here and everything. So you're gonna get 2 bearings. You're gonna pop them open. So this is where you have to be like pretty careful. So you're gonna get your bearing and get your little pick tool, and usually they'll have like a front, they'll have a back that looks like that. You're gonna want to just kind of get in there. So hopefully you can see this. So just kind of get in there with the tool and just kind of like pop that boy out, like, there we go. Make sure you don't lose this, because it's a cover and it'll be bad if you lose that. It's gonna look like this, has the little, those are the bearings in there, and then you're going to get your liquid bearings, not sponsored, but you're just gonna get that, drop like 2 little drops in there, easy. Put the cover back on, snap it in, and just kind of give it a little spin. It'll be nice and lubricated, because you want those boys to be rolling. Set that aside, do the same thing, and you're just gonna do this for all the bearings. I like to do that. And then after you do that, all you're gonna do is just pop these babies into the wheel. So it's pretty easy. You just put the front side in like that, and just pop it right in with your fingers. Usually when you get new wheels, it's kind of hard, because they're new, so they're not like broken in or anything, but you just have to put a little bit of pressure in there. Yeah, you kind of just have to press with your thumb, try to get it as flush as you can. If you can't, sometimes I'll use my skate tool to just kind of like hammer it in a little bit, just so it gets real flush with the wheel. There we go. So that's how you set up your wheel. Repeat that 3 more times. All right, so we got our 4 wheels, they're set up. So now we're gonna go back to the board. You're gonna take these little nuts off right here, just like that. Keep that, don't want to lose that. And then there's also these spacers usually. I think they're called like speed spacers, so it makes you go super fast. But basically you're gonna want to put one in the truck, so between the wheel and the truck, just like that. Get your wheel. You can do logo facing out or logo facing in, it's up to you. I'm gonna do it logo facing out, because why not? And then you're gonna get your second spacer and put that in between the wheel and the nut to tighten it, just like that. And then you're just gonna tighten this on there, nice and snug. Same thing, so I tighten it with my hand first, just to get it in. And then you're gonna use your skate tool. You're gonna use the medium side, this one, and that's gonna tighten it all the way. So when you're tightening the nut onto the wheel, you want it tight, but if it's too tight, the wheel's not gonna spin. So you kind of have to find like the sweet spot where it spins and it's also not loose. So the way I do that is I just tighten it pretty tight first. Yeah. So look, so it's really tight right now, so you can see the wheel isn't really spinning. And then just loosen it a couple times, maybe like, I don't know, half a turn, quarter of a turn. See how that goes. And if it's still like kind of slow, just loosen it a little bit. So I'm gonna do like half a turn basically. So 2 quarter turns, and there we go. It's pretty solid for me. That's so nice. You can't even like hear it. Like with older wheels, you can kind of hear like, I guess the bearings, like they get dirt and stuff stuck in them, but it's just nothing. That's great. That's super nice. Okay, same thing, repeat on the other side. So the spacers are on the nut, so you can see that. So just be careful not to lose those. It's not the biggest problem if you lose them, but it's nice to have. So just be careful with those. There we go. So we got half the board set up. That's literally all you have to do, and then just do the exact same thing on the other side. When you have new trucks, it doesn't really matter which ones are in the front and the back. So before, if you had old trucks, you want to put the front trucks in the front and the back trucks in the back. So it's good to mark them. I'm gonna mark these maybe with a Sharpie, like F for front, or something like that, or nose. So I'm gonna do that, and literally just repeat the same stuff on the other side. Okay.
5 minutes later.
All right, she is set up. Look at her. Very beautiful, amazing, very cool. So that's basically it. That's all you have to do. Last thing I would say is maybe check your kingpin. So that's gonna be this big boy right here. So that's gonna help with carving. So people have loose or tight trucks, depending on what you want to do. So if you're more dancers and you want to like really big carves, loosen it up a good amount. If you want to do more freestyle or whatever, you can tighten it up a little bit. I like to find a happy medium. So that's just like trial and error on your part. So go out, test it out, see how the board feels, loosen, tighten it however you want to, and that's what the big kingpin hole boy is for. So, but that's basically it. I hope you enjoyed the setup video. I hope you set up a new board that's super hype. Let me know. Let me know what you think about my board. I'm gonna cut some clips of it. Like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have more videos to come. My next video will be like a top 5 kind of video, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.